Now that we've understood the rules of subject-verb agreement and we understand the cornerstone rule, let's apply that learning through an exercise. Now let's look at these two example sentences here before us and try and recollect the rules and identify the right answer. The first sentence, either the physicians in this hospital or the chief administrator dash going to have to make a decision. So here again, I have two subjects, the physicians, plural subject, in this hospital, or the chief administrator, singular subject. So I have two subjects, right? One is plural and one is singular, and it's connected by either or. So are you able to recollect the rule? We'll have to look at the subject that is nearest to the verb and take that verb form. So here, because the subject that is nearest to the verb is a singular subject, I'm going to go with the singular verb, which is. So either the physicians in this hospital or the chief administrator is going to have to make a decision. Let's look at our second example. Dash my boss or my sisters in the union going to win this grievance. Again, the options are is or are. Here again, we have two subjects. One is my boss, singular subject, or my sisters, plural subject. Same rule as the previous one, right? The subject that is closest to the verb form is the singular subject. So we're going to go with the singular verb is. Is my boss or my sisters in the union going to win this grievance? Let's look at a couple of other examples. Some of the votes dash to have been miscounted. Okay, are you able to recollect, if I'm not wrong, rule number 8, where we said the quantifiers, few, some, all, several, many, both, all of them take up the plural verb form. So we're talking about more than a couple of votes. So obviously it's a plural subject. Some of the votes, the plural verb will be seem. Seem to have been miscounted. Let's look at our next sentence. Everyone selected to serve on this jury dash to be willing to give up a lot of time. Again, we have the rule which says indefinite pronouns always take up the singular verb form. Everyone is an indefinite pronoun, so therefore the verb will be has, singular verb. Everyone selected to serve on this jury has to be willing to give up a lot of time. Everyone is our subject. Again, let's look at a couple of more examples. Example sentence number 5. Raji Iyer, together with her teammates, dash a formidable opponent to the basketball court. The options are present, presents. Remember the first rule where we said, other words or phrases that come between the subject and the verb do not affect agreement. So here, the subject is Raji Iyer, which is our singular subject, right? Together with her teammates is the additional phrase, additional information. So Raji Iyer, our singular verb is presents with an S. So Raji Iyer, together with her teammates, presents a formidable opponent on the basketball court. Let's look at our next example sentence. He seems to forget there dash things to be done before he can graduate. We did look at a rule where we said sentences that begin with here or there, the verb or the subject appears after the verb. Right? So having said that, what is the subject here? Things, right? Which is a plural subject. We're referring to more than one thing. It's a plural subject. Therefore, the verb that we will have to choose is the plural verb are. He seems to forget there are things to be done before he can graduate. Let's look at some more examples. Example sentence 7. 3/4 of the students dash against the tuition hike. 3/4 of the students is a countable number, right? Which means it's a plural subject. So obviously it will be 3/4 of the students are against the tuition hike. Let's look at our next example sentence. A high percentage of the population dash voting for the new school. Now percentage is a mathematical proportion expressing a singular lump sum. But if you look at population also, it means group of individuals. Oh, it's a collective noun. And we know that collective nouns take up a singular verb form. Remember class, crowd, senate, right? So here it will be is. A high percentage of the population is voting for the new school. Let's look at our last two example sentences. Ninth example, there dash a list of committee members on the head table and the options are is or are. Again, remember the sentence begins with there, which means the subject is going to be coming after the verb. So what is the subject here? A list, right? A list is a database containing an array of items. So having said that, we're referring to a singular subject. So there is, again, another clue for you would be the indefinite article a, one list. There is a list of committee members on the head table. Let's look at the next one. The jury dashed their seats in the courtroom. Okay, so the jury, I understand, is a group of people, right? Selected to hear a case and then decide the facts. So having said that, when I say people, I'm always referring to a plural noun. Even though it means a group of people, you need to understand the context, right? Their seats, which means it denotes more than one person taking their respective seats. So that's also a clue there for you, which allows you to decide that you need a plural verb form. The jury, which is the plural verb form, take. The jury take their seats in the courtroom. So if at all you're slightly confused or in doubt, because if you feel jury is a group of people, collective nouns, it has to be a singular verb. No. Understand the context. What is the context saying? The jury take their seats. We're talking about more than one seat there. Also understanding that people is a plural subject, we'll have to decide and identify the right verb form. So here ends subject-verb agreement for you. I hope this has helped in understanding to identify which verb agrees with the subject and then get your answers right. And this will enable you to speak and write good English once you know this basic rules of how to apply the subject and verb in a sentence. Thank you, and I will see you guys on another topic in the next session.